Open the Landscape Tutorial drawing and select the Split View viewing option. Before adding plants, we need to add a planting bed up by the door and along the wall. So we'll zoom in 2D, and from the Landscape tab, click the Ground Fill Region tool. Left click to set points, defining the perimeter shape of our planting bed. Click that first point and the bed is placed. Adjust the shape of the planting bed by selecting individual points or edges and dragging it with your mouse and cursor, or using the arrow keys to nudge those points or edges in one direction or another. The next step after the bed is placed is to add plants. Click the Plants tab. From the drop-down, you'll see a variety of different libraries. Choose Ornamental Grass. And we'll scroll down and choose this Blue Rush grass. Click on the Grow slider so that when we place these plants, they're smaller, more like what you would get at the nursery. Drag and drop the plant into position. Once placed, you can select it, nudge it, or drag it to reposition it. Now to place all of those plants, while the plant's selected, click the Array tool, click Center to Center and set that for 3 feet and press Enter. Click for the first point, drag the cursor down, and click again to place all of those grasses evenly spaced. And one more to fill that gap. Next, let's go back to our grasses. We'll add a little bit of color. So we'll find the dwarf purple fountain grass and just drop those along in between the other grasses to add some color. And take a moment and change your view so that you can see the plants that we've just placed in this bed. In some cases, your planting will be out in the middle of the yard, not up against the house. There are other creative ways to create your planter beds. So we'll reset our view in 2D and 3D to look over toward the open area on the west side of the yard. Now to create the curved shape of our bed, go to the Detail tab and we'll draw a closed curve by just picking points to define the shape of the curve. This curve will act as a template to create our planting bed. We'll zoom in just a little bit. While it's selected, in Tool Options, click Points. This lets you adjust the shape of the curve. Once finished, click Convert to Ground Fill Region, and now you've drawn a custom curve and converted it to a ground fill region. Remember, those points are still available to edit the shape even once you've converted it to a ground fill region. Right-click on it, choose Create Edging Border, deselect it and reselect the edging. Choose the second edging style and click the Flip Face option. Click the Select tool in 3D and click the mulch bed to select it. Type in 3 inches for object elevation. It prompts you to apply it to everything selected. Just click Yes. The next step will be to add plant material to our new bed. So to our plant library, there's many ways to select plants to place. Click the drop-down and choose the Plant Finder. The Plant Finder allows you to select a criteria to select your plants by: the hardiness zones, sunlight requirements, even water requirements. We'll choose trees, scroll down until we find this Norway maple. Drag and drop the plant into the mulch bed. Select the tree. Go to Tool Options, and where you see Age Planted, set it to 3 to adjust the size of the plant when it was planted. Next, let's go to our furnishings. From the Water Feature library, we'll find this bird bath and drop it in. We'll need to raise it up so it's flush with the top of the mulch. Select it. Under Object Elevation, just click Ground Fill, and it raises it up to the top surface of the ground fill. Search Plants allows us to search the plant database by name. We've searched for hosta, which are good shade plants. We'll find a few and drag and drop those into the plan. Notice the plant strip down below. That's an inventory bar that shows you the plants that are currently in the drawing. You can go back later and drag and drop plants right from there into the design without going back to find them in the plant library. We'll add a little bit of color here. Get in a little bit closer and finish detailing that part of the bed. Now we'll zoom out, go to the animated fly around view, and set up your view in 3D so that you're looking at the front of the house. Click the Landscape tab, click the Grow button to grow your landscape over time to see how it will look as it ages. Notice that the tree continues to grow. The hostas have already grown as much as they're going to, so they don't continue to grow as you click the Grow tool. And we'll go to 3D mode so that you can see the entire plan. Set the view one more time to full screen 3D. From the 3D menu, choose Render Final Quality to get a view of the landscaping that we've just placed with shadows from the sunlight as well. You can adjust the sun direction manually, or from your lighting settings, set the global sun position by location.